I think this is where we shake hands.
Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of Digital Fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn, and today we're back with another standard deck tech straight out of Through the Omen Path Standard, otherwise known as Spider-Man Standard. I don't think I'm ever going to get used to saying that, but I digress. This deck is called Antagonist, and she seems to be an antagonist today as well, but the deck is a Golgari Stompy deck. There's just so many crazy good green and black creatures coming out of this set that I just kind of had to throw together an insane, ridiculous... You'll see. You'll see when we get there. Before we dive in and break down the deck and then get to the gameplay, please like the video. It helps me get it out to so many more people. It helps the channel grow. And also subscribe if you're new so you never miss any uploads. I have a ton of crazy content on the way. I've got deck techs dropping every single day from early access for Through the Omen Paths. And the next one I'm going to drop is actually really crazy. It's a Rakdos control deck, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Today is all about Antagonist, and if you want to just smash your opponent in the face with the best green and black creatures, this deck is for you. But there's some subtlety to it too. Let's break it down. Alright, so this is Antagonist, and it's essentially a Golgari Stompy deck, but it has some very interesting new cards. So first of all, we have Vigo, Enforcer of Yg's Crossing. This is a 3/3 for 3 mana, but when it enters, you return target creature card with mana value 1 or less from your graveyard straight to the battlefield. It doesn't even just come back to our hand, it goes straight onto the battlefield, which is honestly kind of nuts and very, very underestimated, I think. You can also pay 6 mana in the colors of Jund to transform it into a 5/5 Menace Trample Haste that whenever it attacks, you get to sacrifice another creature, draw X cards, put a permanent card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield, where X is the sacrifice creature's mana value. All of that's kinda gravy. Just having a 3/3 that comes down on 3 gets your best 1-drop back as long as you're running really good 1-drops, and then can later on turn into an insane amount of pressure by transforming into a 5/5 Menace Trample Haste is kind of good enough on its own. But having even more value with drawing cards and potentially getting a free permanent onto the battlefield is just kinda nuts, and I think I love this guy. We're also using King of the Cold Blood Curse, a 5/5 trampling legendary lizard villain for 2 green and 2. And when he enters, up to 1 other target creature loses all abilities and becomes a green lizard creature with base power and toughness 4/4. You can use this on your own stuff, and we're already trying to use really good 1-drop creatures that could be good with, but you can also pivot and use it on your opponent's stuff. And if you guys remember how much of a problem 𝐿𝐿𝐿 was back in the day, this sort of feels a little bit like 𝐿𝐿𝐿, although not nearly as problematic. 𝐿𝐿𝐿 could turn our opponent's stuff into 3/3 elks, and they would lose all their abilities. So this can be used in a similar fashion, except it's a 4/4 instead of a 3/3. But you can essentially take their biggest bomb, their biggest nasty off the table, replace it with a 4/4, turn it into a vanilla 4/4, and get rid of a huge problematic threat. But being able to pivot and use it on your own, like 1 mana 1/1 to turn it into a huge relevant piece of pressure in the late game or in the mid game is actually really, really relevant and makes this card super versatile. Talking about the 1-drops, we have Llanowar Elves, which is probably one of the best 1-drops in Standard right now. It can ramp us early. If they kill it, we can get it back with Vigo. And then later on in the game, when we just need pure numbers, pure power, we can just turn it into a 4/4 with King of the Cold Blood Curse. So it's kind of perfect in this deck. We're also running 4 copies of Pawpatch Recruit, which is absolutely nuts with Vigo. If we get this out early and they kill it, and they're definitely going to want to kill it before you get another creature out, we just jam Vigo on 3 and get it right back and make it feel like they wasted their removal, and that always feels really good. 2-drop slot, we've also got Sunset Saboteur, a 4/1 menace for 2 mana, ward, discard a card, and whenever it attacks, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and opponent controls. But for the most part, all of our creatures are going to be so much bigger than theirs. almost all of the time. And if we do happen to put it on a creature that we don't want to have it, we've always got 4 copies of Assassin's Trophy to just at instant speed kill that thing before they can even declare it as a blocker. We're also running 4 copies of Frenzied Baloth in the 2-drop slot, which is another one of like the best 2-drop, just pound for pound creatures in the game when it comes to Stompy. This is a 3/2 trample haste, can't be countered, creature spells you control can't be countered, and combat damage can't be prevented. Moving on to the 3-drop slot, in addition to those 2 copies of Vigo, we've also got 2 copies of the brand new Bracco Heartless Hunter. I call this guy Bama because he's Bracco Bama. Anyway, he's a 4/3 trampler for 3 mana in the colors of Golgari, and whenever a creature an opponent controls with the greatest power among creatures that player controls dies, you draw a card and put a +1/+1 counter on Bama. I actually think this is way better than anybody's giving it credit. I don't think people realize how good this is in subtle ways. Even if Bama trades with one of their creatures, if that creature did have the greatest power among creatures that player controlled, this will still draw you a card. Like, sure, Bama will be dead and won't get the +1/+1 counter, but the ability still triggers and you draw a card. That alone can make it really, really good, just replacing itself while also being a 4/3 trampler for 3, which is pretty on rate. And depending on who you talk to, maybe a little bit above rate. But then if they don't kill it and you can just keep killing their stuff, forcing them to, blocking combat and die that way, using your Assassin's Trophy to kill stuff, it just gets really, really crazy if this can get even more than 1 trigger on it. But even if it only gets 1 trigger, it's still super good. But multiple triggers make it absolutely nuts, and that's where Unstoppable Slasher comes in, because if they block the Unstoppable Slasher, their dude's gonna die because of the Death Touch, and there's a good chance that if that's their only dude out, now Bracco's getting a trigger, which feels really, really good. But also, Unstoppable Slasher is just really good. You can slam in, do a bunch of damage, make them lose half their life when you do. It's just another really good card that we can use in a Golgari Stompy deck. And it also works really well with our 4 copies of Elegy Acolyte, which lets us be able to swing in and draw cards when they don't block, and they really don't want to block the Slasher. And then if something dies, we trigger the Void, and we get a 2/2, which gets even crazier because everything's swinging at our opponent's face every single turn, and they're bound to have to trade their creatures with ours in combat. And so we're constantly getting Void triggers on this guy. We're constantly getting this guy to trigger and get a +1/+1 counter and draw cards. There's a lot of shenanigans going on. A lot of shenanigans, and it's super fun. The last card is 2 copies of 𝐒𝐵𝐿 the Bile Bulwark, because it's just way too sweet and I had to run it. This is a 4/4 Death Touching Lifelinker for just 5 mana, 2 black and 3. But what makes it really crazy is whenever 𝐒𝐵𝐿 attacks, until end of turn, you may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may play cards from the top of your library. If you cast a spell this way, you pay life equal to its mana value rather than pay its mana cost. So this is basically a Bolas Citadel, except it's also got a body attached, a really good relevant body with Death Touch and Lifelink. And the crazier part about it is you don't need to deal combat damage in order for the ability to trigger. You just need to attack. So it doesn't even matter if your opponent blocks or doesn't block the 𝐒𝐵𝐿. No matter what, you're going to be able to jam cards from the top of your library for the rest of the turn, just paying life instead of mana, and just go way overboard with value to the point where your opponent probably can't catch up. And it's kind of nuts. In fact, the lifelink helps you get back the life that you're probably going to spend on all of those cards you're playing from the top. Having that as a big lifelinker, having the Elegy Acolyte as a big lifelinker, these things really, really help give you enough life so you can go absolutely ham with 𝐒𝐵𝐿, and I love it. The mana base is very simple. We're running a lot of the dual lands. We're also running 4 starting town, and most importantly, we're running 4 copies of Multiversal Passage, which is probably the best land we've got into standard in a long, long time. It's basically a 5-color pathway. You do have to pay 2 life in order for it to come into play untapped, but that is a small price to pay for getting to pick literally any color, and having this land count as that basic land type, which means it'll help turn on your verges, which is super important. And if you don't need the mana on curve, you can always choose to let it enter tapped instead of untapped, and then you don't even have to pay the 2 life. So everything about this card is just awesome, and I expect to see it in almost every deck in Standard until the end of time from this point moving forward. So the deck's pretty crazy, but don't take my word for it. Let's check out the games. This looks pretty decent. We can keep it. We can at least drop the Baloth on 2, and hopefully we get a land. We're on the draw, so chances are that we will. Alright, Cottage is down. Let's see, we could drop the Verge on 2 and still play the Baloth. Well, it's a little too late for the Elves, unfortunately. So we'll just do this. Smash in. Smash in. Three whole mana. Spider Silk Innovator. That is true. It is a Spider Silk Innovator. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like anything about it. We'll just do this. We'll wait to attack until we can get the Elegy Acolyte down. And make the trample matter. Although part of me's thinking maybe I should have played Llanowar Elves and held up Assassin's Trophy instead of playing the Slasher. Fire-brained scheme. Kren. Well, that'll help. That'll definitely help. Would you like to trade your 2 dudes? Guess the answer is yes. And we will trigger the Void. Happy to see that. King of the Cold Blood Curse. Oh boy. Wait, another Kellen joins up? Really? I guess we attack first. Try to draw cards off the Elegy Acolyte. I guess we'll just play a Vigo since we have 2. I was thinking about holding up the Assassin's Trophy, but since we have 2 Vigos, I don't feel as bad wasting the ability on the front side. Let's play it out. Kellen joins up. What do you got now? A Demi? In web for 3. Oh boy. Could do that. But I don't love it. Could also do that. Sacrificed creatures mana value. There's a lot of stuff we could do. I think I just want to do this. Draw some cards. And kill the man, I guess. Alright, we can't keep this. 3 forests. 2 starting towns and a multiversal passage. Why is it always one extreme or the other? I mean, we gotta keep it, right? I think we toss back a Llanowar Elf and we hope we get a 3-drop. Llanowar Elf. The dog is upset. Undercity sewers, sure. We'll go like this. We'll go like this. And then next turn we play a 4-drop. Maybe the dog will be happy for me. I'd rather do it this way, I think. Elegy Acolyte. We still have a king. We can use the king to turn our Llanowar Elf into a 4/4 weapon, which I kind of love. I guess we're gonna do it. Let's just do it. Throw everything at our opponent's face. Seems pretty good to me. You're gonna know where to run it. Nowhere to run it. Fine. I'm okay with that. Swing, gain life, draw a card, make a robot because you kill the thing. Yeah, all of that is wonderful. I don't know if you can catch up. I do not know if you can catch up. We've got an Assassin's Trophy to take out a blocker. We've got a Baloth to come in. I think it's over, boys. Let me think. 7. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Man, this is so close. I guess we just do this. I guess we just do that. And then we definitely do this. And we smash for 12. Put him at 2. Draw a card. Play a land. End the turn. Do you have a sweeper, my friend? No. You have a watery grave to the temple. I guess that was your watery grave. Alright. We can make this work. No 1-drops, but that's okay. It's okay. We'll toss down Multiversal Passage for green to start. So that we can have it enter tapped. Save ourselves some life. I don't know if we're going to drop the Baloth on 2, though. We might drop the Saboteur. I think the sooner that we get the Saboteur out, the better off we are. He doesn't have a creature to put the counter on yet. And the Baloth can add extra pressure, extra damage later on. As a surprise without him seeing it coming because of the haste. So I think it's just better to get the Saboteur out now. Carlo, sure. Starting town. We'll kill it eventually with the Assassin's Trophy, but we don't need to right now. Let's play out the Unstoppable Slasher. That's a lot of damage coming in next turn. That's theoretically like 10 damage right there, putting him at 4. Steam Core Scholar, sure. Sure. Okay, he's gonna swing. He's gonna do it. I think that might have been a mistake. But it is what it is. We're gonna play the Elegy Acolyte to start. We're just gonna put all the counters on Carlo because we're gonna kill Carlo eventually. Eventually. Not yet. Probably. Although we could double block and I'd be kind of fine with it. Gain 4 life back, don't take any damage. Next turn, we definitely want to Assassin's Trophy though, so we'll see what happens here. Steam Core Scholar's back. Lots of counters on Carlo. We're on the flyer. Alright, well he can't swing with the flyer yet. Ooh, he's holding back everything. Okay. That's, mighty dangerous of you. Mighty dangerous. He's got a heck of a defense mounted right now. So I am a little bit worried. Let's do this. Just this. Alright, we'll kill the Desecrex. And get some void triggers on the Elegy Acolytes. We should be able to just smash in for the win next turn, I think. Especially because he doesn't know we have the Baloth coming and an Assassin's Trophy to get rid of a blocker. We've even got a pivot with the king if we want to. I'll drink to that. Carlo is trying, man. Carlo with Carlo. Carlo with Carlo. Winter Night Stories. Swings for 8. Has to sacrifice it. Oh, you son of a... I had you! You little bastard. Alright, I think we can keep this. Forest on 1, we'll play the Pawpatch Recruit. Give me some nectar. We'll play the Verge, the Saboteur, and we will smack in for 2. We are off to the races. Off to the races. Terminus of Return, eh? I mean, I guess we're doing this. Smack, smack. We don't have to put a counter on anything, which is awesome. Anything of his dies. If he can only play one creature, if it dies, Bracco draws us a card. And gets a counter. Tetramos. Alright. He has to discard a card. And we get a counter. Seems pretty good to me. I'm here for it. We could destroy the 𝐿𝐴𝑚 with Assassin's Trophy. It's probably our best bet. But we'll hold up the Assassin's Trophy just in case. We want him to kill our Pawpatch Recruit so we can play Vigo and just get it back. That would be wonderful. Inevitable defeat. Sure. Sure. Resolve. Pass to attackers. We will Assassin's Trophy the 𝐿𝐴𝑚. And have lethal. Good game. Unless he has 1 mana removal. Unless he has 1 mana removal. Nope. It is over. Alright, we're going to keep this. Looks like I might actually have a good hand. We're going to start with Llanowar Elves. And he burst lightnings it. Of course he does. Baloth for the win. Do we Vigo on 3 to get back the elves? Or do we Pawpatch with the offspring? I think it depends on if he has removal held up or not. Hello, sir. Lightning strike the Baloth, sure. Well, if that's the case, we're just going to do this. If we top deck a land, we can play 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐿. If we don't, we play the Llanowar Elves and the full offspring cost Pawpatch Recruit. Guess kind of both. Alright, we smash in. We have enough mana next turn to either play 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐿 or to flip Vigo. Flipping Vigo isn't going to do a ton for us, though. We draw 1 card, get to put a 1-drop onto the battlefield if we want, by sacking a 1-drop. Not really worth it. Not really worth it. 7 mana. I mean, just swinging in for a bunch of damage, though. Could be. I guess we just play it. Swing in with Vigo. We can flip next turn and do some craziness. Good ol' 𝐿. The Bulwark is definitely bile. Full of bile. It is a bulwark of bile. Hello, sir. Swings with things. It's burst lightning. I mean, 𝐿 will end up dying. We don't want to do that. We'll just take 3. We will just take 3. Dog's not happy about it. Slagstorm. How rude. How dare you? How rude. So rude. Excuse me. No being a grump. No prowling. Come lay down. You silly pup. You silly puppy. More removal. Big surprise. Big surprise. We'll play another creature. Reality Fulcrum. Sure. It's the fulcrum of reality. Good puppy. Good puppy. Lay down, be good, okay. And we got smacked in the face. Sounds about right. Still got some mana there. Only cast spells from exile, though. Artist talent. 1 damage. If he doesn't have a creature to target with the Saboteur. Okay, now he does. Now he does. Do I want to just make it a 4/4 so I don't make his dude bigger? I could. Nah, this is what we're gonna do. Restless Cottage. Smash. Exile. 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 Esper or Regents. Put you at 3. Good luck, buddy. Good luck, buddy. Artist talent, questing druid. Just keeps finding things. He's only got one card to discard, so if he wants to kill the Saboteur, he has to get rid of the one card that I don't know what it is. Technically, I've still got lethal. He'd have to discard the last card, Burst Lightning the Saboteur. Because if I attack with the Saboteur and the Cottage, he can't block them both. He's got a Soulstone Sanctuary he can activate, but he'll have to tap the Sanctuary itself in order to do it. So I think that's his only out. Plays Quint's Insight instead. I think that's a mistake. No, he can still play the Burst Lightning, I guess. Oh, he can just kill me. He managed to pull it off because of all of the extra damage. Wow, that was close. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck techs, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.